Okay, happy Thursday, everyone. We are live, I believe, on Facebook and possibly some of our other social media platforms, YouTube. It's the WAVY 10 sports team. Sports director Craig Loper, Brian Parsons, our extraordinary producer. On a Thursday afternoon here ahead of Super Bowl 57. Brian, we're here, first time in the digital studio. What do we think?
Look at this. Look at this place. It's pretty fancy. We got cameras, we got lights, we have Sarah behind the board over here. We have all kinds of cool stuff. This used to be the photographer lounge, and they've converted it into this nice digital studio for us.
It took us a while to build up the studio here at the WAVY 10 office. Sarah,
the photographers do have a lounge though. It's next door. They just moved it.
Yeah, we didn't kick them out entirely.
Yeah, they still have a place to hang out.
We need them to do their job. Sarah came in, and you guys can't see her. Well, maybe you can see her if she puts up the other shot real quick. She came in and joined us, and she's been the one working this thing and getting everybody up and running. We are completely strangers when it comes to this thing, so we need her help for now, and she's teaching us the ways of the digital studio. So thank you for having us here today, Sarah. And we're getting into the Super Bowl. But first we want to talk about the big news of the day in the sports world. Of last night, we were up. We were in a group chat of sports guys, and we saw it. I put it out. You guys didn't see it yet. Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns. Real quick reaction when you saw it.
I love chaos. I love blockbuster trades. Once Kyrie Irving got traded from the Nets to the Mavericks, you kind of saw the writing on the wall that the Nets had released a statement that said, we have no intention of trading Kevin Durant.
Right.
No intention does not mean we're not going to do it.
It's like right now in this moment.
Yeah.
Literally, when we're writing a statement, we have no intention.
We'd rather not to right now, but they did. I think it's an awesome move for the Suns. I mean, now you got a big three, a big four, really, if you count DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and now Kevin Durant. I include Ayton in that. He's a player.
He's a
force. He's
young.
A rim protector.
He's a rim protector. He runs. My reaction, like you, it's like the writing was on the wall. I know people were talking about the KD to Boston thing. I didn't really see any merit to that. I think Boston builds in a different way, and they got their guys kind of in place.
And I don't see New Jersey trading within the division like that.
Right.
So I think that would have been kind of weird.
So KD goes to the Suns, and we were talking about it fit-wise, just real quick. I think it's a great fit. You lose some of your young wing defenders, but KD's an elite all-star caliber player, all-NBA player, obviously, but it makes them better instantly. What I was saying and what we were saying off camera before we came in the studio in our sports office was this. I told Brian, I said, I tasked him with a challenge. I said, find me a mid-season trade of an all-star caliber player of KD's level, and it works out mid-season, they go on to win a championship. And I couldn't think of one in the last 20 years, but also knowing at the same time superstar players don't tend to get traded in the middle of the season. But Brian came up with a solution, and what was the answer when it happened?
1995 Houston Rockets, fresh off their first championship in 1994. They were kind of struggling mid-season. Things weren't going so well. Middle of the pack in the playoffs, really. And they made a trade for Clyde Drexler with the Portland Trail Blazers to bring him back home to Houston to pair up with Hakeem Olajuwon, and they ended up winning the NBA championship.
His college teammate. They were teammates.
The Houston Cougars,
a year or a couple years.
In '84, they played Patrick Ewing and Georgetown in the championship and lost. And then 10 years later, Hakeem and Patrick played in the NBA finals.
Right.
But that one, Hakeem got.
Right. So there you go. That was his example. Again, in the last 20 years, it just doesn't happen often. Superstars don't get traded midseason. So we'll see how it works out with Kevin Durant. I think the West is pretty open, man. Golden State is not what they were. Yeah. The Lakers are clearly not. Clippers are kind of teetering. And the Mavericks, how's it work?
Memphis isn't. Say Memphis makes the finals. Are they going to beat Milwaukee?
No. The East is looking like they'll probably win the championship.
Not many people are talking about the Bucks. The Bucks are just kind of chilling, doing their thing.
Because Giannis is a quiet superstar.
I know.
He doesn't warrant the media attention like some of these other guys do. So
they're the quiet favorites, in my opinion.
Moving on, yeah, that's right, from the NBA. And let's get into it. The real reason we're here, we're going to do about 15 minutes on this. Super Bowl 57 is coming up between the Chiefs and the Eagles in Glendale, Arizona at State Farm Stadium. Valley of the Sun, fourth time ever Super Bowl has been held in Arizona, going back to 1996. So when you look at this game, Brian, first thoughts now that we're on Thursday and we're a few days away?
My thoughts are that Philadelphia had a great run. They had a great season. They had a pretty relatively easy schedule, relatively speaking. But Jalen Hurts had their great defense, efficient offense. They run the ball a lot, but I just don't see how anybody in their right mind would bet against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs when the money's on the line, when the game is on the line. I'd have to go with Kansas City in this one. Mahomes, the ankle's at 2 weeks to get better. And this is supposedly a rebuilding year for Kansas City in a weird way with all the young guys that they have. They had to get rid of some guys, high-priced guys. I think this is Kansas City's year to win their second Super Bowl.
And Patrick Mahomes has a healthy offensive line, which is key.
Didn't have that when they lost to the Bucs a couple years ago.
And if you can protect Patrick Mahomes and he can run around and scramble a little bit, Brian and I are on the same page with this. I love, you know what, and we're sports guys, and we all kind of have our things, and you're not supposed to root for anyone while you're working at the game, but we're not working this game, so we can talk about it. I'm rooting for the Eagles. I want the underdog to win. I love Jalen Hurts. I like Nick Sirianni's sort of bravado, and I like the Eagles. I respect the underdog mentality. I love the city. We got a lot of Philly people in our building.
Yeah, a little bit.
A lot of Philly people in our building. It's actually kind of overwhelming at this point. Like, I'm rooting for you guys, but literally, like, 5 people in the WAVY office throughout the whole, everyone wore an Eagles jersey yesterday. And I was like, okay, guys, let's just pump the brakes a little bit. Like, this is a work atmosphere. So I'm rooting for the Eagles, but I agree with Brian. I don't see how you can bet against Patrick Mahomes. He is the X factor. It could be 3rd and 17. And I'm like, they're probably going to convert it. And I don't feel that way about anybody else in the NFL outside of maybe Joe Burrow.
If the game is tied and the Chiefs get the ball with 15 seconds to go at the 20, he's going to get them in field goal range.
Exactly, right.
Even without timeouts.
Yeah, you feel that way with him, behind the center, under center, every play. And I just don't see that. I just don't see how. Now, here's the key, and we know this. The pass rush is key for Philly. Those rush lanes are so key. If you can, somehow get in his head and send guys from different directions, meanwhile your interior linemen are plug in the middle, and your defensive ends and outside linebackers are containing him in the pocket, I think that's going to be the difference, because maybe you can slow him down, maybe slightly, a little bit.
Yeah, when speaking of those defensive ends, one of the guys that we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on.
Right, Josh Sweat, right, Chesapeake native, Oscar Smith, high school, who you covered back in the day. We have old archive footage. And he's had a heck of a year. He's in his 5th NFL season now, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
So it's still first, has he signed an extension?
Yeah, he's on a one-year deal right now.
Okay.
He's on a one-year deal. So he went through his 4 years of his rookie contract. Philly brought him back on a one-year prove-it deal, and he has proved it. I think he's double-digit sacks. I want to say 13 and a half. Don't quote me on that. But he's having a career year off the edge. Only missed one game. Played in all those games. He had the neck thing. Looked scary, but he's okay. And I just want to go back for your perspective, covering him in high school. He was the #1 player in Virginia.
Yep.
Signed to Florida State as part of that class. What was it like watching him out there for Smith?
He was one of those guys. There are these guys that had the X factor. There's only been a few of them. I mean, D'Angelo Hall had it. Obviously, right. Percy Harvin had it. Ronald Curry had it. Josh Sweat was one of those. He was one of the dudes.
Just a guy.
And he played both ways, obviously.
Right.
But Nathan Epstein was actually there when he suffered a very serious injury as senior year at Oscar Smith and missed the rest of his senior season. But he healed up fine and had a great career at Florida State. And now, look at him. He's one win away from a Super Bowl. And we have some other local guys, too.
Coincidentally, went to Florida State as part of the same recruiting class as Virginia Beach native, Ocean Lakes grad, Derek Nottie. So you think about that. Those two guys, that was when Florida State was recruiting. They were just coming off the national championship. So I think it was a 2014 recruiting class, if you look back. So Nottie ends up there. Josh Sweat ends up there.
They hit it hard here in the 757 for about a 6-7 year span.
Jimbo
hard.
loves the Tidewater guys, huh?
Yeah. EJ Manuel, they had a quarterback there. It led them to, I think, a Fiesta Bowl win.
Bayside High School, stand up. I met EJ at a Virginia Tech game last year when they played Notre Dame. He was great.
But Nottie, defensive lineman for the Chiefs, the local guy. We did get the email that we found out there's a guy on the practice squad that went to Nantucket Academy that's on the practice squad for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And then we also have some Old Dominion guys too, Zach Pascal and Rick Lovato that are on the Eagles.
Yeah, so everyone that's been looking out for the local guys, those are the names, right? So Nottie's an interesting story too. Already got one. He's around in KC. Chris Jones is obviously their main guy, but he is a consistent contributor to them. He's not going to put up big numbers. He's a defensive tackle, but he does his job as part of that Steve Spagnuolo defense, and he plays his role pretty well, and he seems to enjoy it. I know he came back last offseason. He does a couple camps and stuff, and he just seems like a great guy.
He is definitely very active in the community, and he's kind of a low-key guy. He doesn't really want all the publicity, but he still does all these things. We kind of find out about it, and we kind of get out there and give him the publicity that he deserves for all this stuff, but he's not seeking it necessarily. But he's that defensive interior guy. He's going to come in and plug and play, and he knows his role. He's going to kind of give some guys some relief and plug those lanes up and try to stop that Philly run game, which is a very, very potent run game.
And the stuff they run with Jalen Hurts, these QB counters, read option, QB power, play action off of all that run action, what they call run action looks, is key with Hurts. I mean, I was listening to something on the radio or some podcast recently, and it's like the way they scheme up Hurts with these play action passes, they keep it very simple for him. It's not even like he has the ability to drop back and throw the ball deep. I think he's actually leading the NFL in like 20-yard completions this year. But it all starts with sort of this play action RPO look in terms of like those slants, those in routes, those quick out routes. And it sucks the defense in, those linebackers and stuff, holds them for a split second, and it gives Jalen an extra second to determine where he's going to go with the ball. So as a defensive lineman, that's the key with Nadi. Getting your hand, I'm going back to my football days, but the defensive line, get your hands on the offensive lineman, and you basically take a peek. Is it run? Is it play action? Then you can kind of just assess from there. That's going to be key for Hurts. If the Chief can throw off his rhythm, then I think he might be in for, I don't want to say a long day because he's talented, but that can throw him off.
Well, you know, think with the Chiefs, though, the Chiefs will let you hang around. A lot of their games, they're not blowing teams out.
Right.
It's so the Philly. I'm picking KC to win the game, but that I'm not ruling out the possibility that the Eagles could pull this thing out. I think this is a very even game. We talked about the line you said is 1.5 Philly.
1.5 Philly favored by.
Interesting.
I didn't check the over under, so I'm not sure. But yeah, Philly. It is weird to me. That is interesting. It's like I think better money in Vegas is saying Philly is the better team, no doubt. Like they got more depth. They have the receivers, but for me, it's almost like, considering Patrick Mahomes is so good, this game should almost be a pick 'em in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think they're saying Philly has just more depth and the better team. But then I want to throw this at you, coaching-wise, right? You got to think Andy Reid has the coaching advantage.
Yeah, you would think. Yeah.
I mean, like...
Andy Reid has 2 weeks to prepare for this. Andy Reid fired
Philly.
Sirianni.
Yeah.
So...
He fired Sirianni back in the day.
Yeah.
While he was on the Eagles or the Chiefs? No, the Chiefs.
I mean, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But
7-8 years ago.
What do you think Portsmouth Casino is going to be like on Sunday?
Oh my God, that's so random. Packed probably, like it's been, like we've heard every single day.
How crazy is a sportsbook going to be?
2 weeks, it's packed nonstop at all hours of the night. I'd assume it's a 24-hour casino, and people. I've been in there, and it's a nice setup. The bar is nice. It's huge, and the screens are crazy. It's comfortable. They got the chairs. And I think that's the non-smoking area, so that's key for a lot of people. Yeah. It's packed. I'm gonna avoid it. I'm gonna avoid that. I like to watch. You and I are on the same page. We watch the game in the comfort of our own home, volume up on the couch. We like to listen to all the analysis. We like to listen to the play-by. We don't like chaos around us.
No, I don't like to go to Super Bowl parties.
No.
If I want to rewind a play and watch it again and like, what did they just say?
Yes.
And like, did I just see what I think I saw?
Right.
I'm more than willing. I like to be able to do that and not be in a room full of distractions and people that are there to watch the commercials and not the game.
I can't do it. My interest has waned in the commercials over the last, I'd say 5-6 years. Like when I was like, a little bit younger, I was like, yeah, I don't care about the commercials. But now it's lost its touch because half of them are leaked on Twitter.
Yeah,
like
they drop them anyway. Yeah.
And it's like, if you really want to, you can just go to YouTube and look them up. Yeah. Probably beginning this weekend. Today and tomorrow, for sure. Yeah. I wanted to say this, and I'm forgetting actually the point that I was just about to make. Oh, the game's on Fox, right? So
Fox 43.
One thing I'm looking forward to, and forgive me, I forget the other guy's name, but Greg Olson on the call. I think Greg Olson is the best Fox has right now. I think he overtook Aikman and Buck actually kind of like a year ago.
He's excellent. He is really good. God, who was the play-by-play guy? They got him from. He was with the New York Mets doing their sideline kind of reporting broadcast, and he's very popular in New York. They love him up there. The Mets fans.
Okay.
Greg Olson's been awesome, man.
It's just like the perfect balance of analysis, insight, talking about what is going on, what they were looking for.
Fox is in a quandary here.
Yep.
They signed Tom Brady to a 10-year, $337 million contract to be the number one analyst in the booth.
Yep.
Brady says he's not going to start working for Fox until 2024 because he wants to train and get ready and be right.
Yeah.
But I think this might be Olson's job.
I think if I was Fox making these decisions, I don't know if Brady don't you want to do the secondary game just for like at least a couple years or maybe a one season to like learn as opposed to having, I don't want to call it pressure. Brady's been in more pressure than calling a game, but like I kind of want to see Brady on I think Olsen has earned that spot. You put Brady on the second Fox game, whatever the second sort of tier Fox game is in the afternoon, and let him develop, right? Like, you don't just throw him out there.
Yeah, I'd like to. Who wants to be the guy to tell Tom Brady that, hey, Tom, you're not going to be the number one guy.
Good point.
We're going to put you on the B team.
You're on a 10-year deal, and you got to spend a year of it just kind of like on the B team.
Yeah, you're calling the
The Panthers and the
I'm trying to think
Saints next year. I'm an NFC South guy. I spent some years down in the NFC South, and it's like the NFC South had such a terrible year.
Halftime show. What do you want to hear from Rihanna? Is she going to play Umbrella?
Yeah. That's a good point. I was thinking there's some hits, so you probably have time for what, 5, 6 songs, 7 songs max.
I think they get 12 minutes, so they kind of do do like a little medley.
So she's going to do Ponder Replay. No, actually, that's too old. She's not going to do that. That was like her first hit ever. She's going to do
maybe though.
She's going to do Umbrella. I'm not like a huge Rihanna. She's gonna do Work. Work is a big one. A couple years ago, Work. That one came out. That's a hit. And
there's always a special guest too. A lot of times. So I wonder who she would bring out. That'd be kind of cool.
That's a good question. If she did Umbrella, which was that the one with Jay-Z? Sarah, what is it? It is? Okay. Yeah. Sarah's helping us out. I'm not up to date on my Rihanna news.
Pop up there, man. That'd be
pretty
cool.
Doesn't he do the halftime Super Bowl? Like he's like part of the NFL committee to put it all together for entertainment or something?
There it is. We're breaking it here on the Sports Wrap Super Bowl Super Chat. Jay-Z will be.
Jay-Z's going to be.
Chris Stapleton is doing the national anthem, and Babyface is doing America the Beautiful, I believe, right?
Yes, I think that's right. Babyface just hanging around.
And
you're a music guy.
Yeah, he is hanging around.
He's found his niche. You know who's also found their niche in like sporting events, pre-game songs? It's Boyz II Men. Like Boyz II Men pops up like at some big sporting event every year for the national anthem.
You know what's wild?
And they still sound great.
When I was a kid, I was like, this is awful. I don't like this. And then you hear them now, and it's like, oh, I was a dumb kid.
Yeah.
These guys can sing.
They're still good. They're still good. I don't know when the last time Boyz II Men put out an album, but they sing the heck out of the national anthem before some games.
I think they still do shows.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah. They have a crowd. They have a niche.
Yeah, man, they're good.
I was listening to Boyz II Men back in the day, and definitely my dad he'd probably go to a concert.
And Chris Stapleton, he's old school country, kind of like Willie Nelson type old.
So does he bring out a guitar?
I would imagine, yeah,
for the song.
Yeah, I would imagine he would. Yeah.
Okay.
He's playing Virginia Beach Amphitheater.
Number one prop bet too, often in Super Bowls, is how long the national anthem lasts. I think it's like over or under 2 minutes?
2 is long.
Oh, that's long?
Yeah, okay. I would think so.
So maybe minute 30?
They usually should be between like 130, 145.
But that's always
anything over that is self-indulgent in my opinion.
Right, okay. Yeah, like Fergie at the NBA All-Star game all those years ago. So it's like the national prop bet would be national anthem over under. Coin toss is big. Yeah. Heads, tails.
What do you got? Heads or tails?
All the tweets I've seen, it's like everyone, 80% of people bet on tails. And I've just always been like, I don't know, I guess. But like on Madden, when I used to play Madden, I didn't mind calling heads.
See, this is why Craig Loper doesn't do slot machines, folks.
I don't play with slots.
He's blackjack all the way.
Because I like to play the percentages.
You want a little control.
I want it slightly in control. The house is always controlling you, but I want a little bit of I want to know the odds based on what I'm looking at. Other prop bets, I have no clue. I haven't dove into all that stuff.
I've got mine. Do you remember the one I was talking about?
I don't.
In the office? I want to know if I can find it, if it even exists. But I predict Zach Pascal from Old Dominion will score a touchdown.
Anytime touchdown.
I think he's caught 15 balls all year.
15 balls all year with 1 touchdown.
But I think he scores a touchdown. I think he's going to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Maybe some sort of decoy, some sort of trickery.
Okay, so here's what we said. You told me this the other day. You said Pascal is more of a blocking receiver. Yes. So they might put him in like a blocking situation. So maybe they're near the goal line. They put Pascal in to signal to the defense, it's definitely some sort of run, right? And then they play action him and they put him in the back of the end zone for a score. How about that?
Yeah.
Something like that. And if, for a prop bet like that, you're thinking minimum low bet $5, and you might win. You might win $100 on a bet like that.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Let's
go to Portsmouth and do it right now.
Oh, man. Jesus. Let's put it in. I got friends that make some pretty impressive prop bets. I have my one buddy in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. His name's Austin. And he does some weird, wacky stuff. And he's hit on some of these prop bets. And it's random. I'm like, dude, how do you... I think the apps tell you what to do. They tell you, they show you, or you just pick them out randomly. But he's won some he won $1,200 on a prop bet. It was all random. He was betting on Ben Simmons to have 6 rebounds or something. I'm like, come on, man.
It's really no different than going to 7-Eleven and buying the scratching tickets.
Right. I agree.
It's kind of the same thing. It's whatever. Yeah, it's just chance.
How about we let's pivot quickly, and we're going to wrap up here probably pretty soon. I know I got to get going.
Yeah, you got a lot going on. You got live shots and live hits and the newscasts.
Real quick here, let's just do 4 or 5 more minutes. Locally, what to watch for today if you're concerned with more local sports. ODU women in action 6:30 tonight at Chartway.
Yeah, against Georgia Southern.
Yeah, ODU men 7 o'clock down in Atlanta against Georgia State.
One of 4 consecutive road conference games for the Monarchs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're on the road.
Who did Jeff Jones tick off to get that on the schedule?
Very
4
rare.
conference road games.
Very rare that happens.
My God, this late in the season,
in
too?
college basketball, right? They
They got to go to Texas State, App State, JMU, and Georgia State. So they're
road warrior mentality.
Yeah, they said this was going to the Sun Belt was going to alleviate some of the travel, but that's some Conference USA sounding road trip right there.
Yeah, definitely. And then if you want to even go more hyper local, I tweeted it out a few minutes ago before we came in here. But Peninsula Catholic Atlantic Shores game has been canceled tonight. We were going to go there. You're going to a private school game tonight at 7.
Yeah, that's. Oh, geez, what is it? Norfolk Collegiate and Cape Henry?
Cape Henry, there you go. Perfect. So, and then outside of that, if you're keeping an eye, I think the Norfolk State men and women are both in action on Saturday.
We're Catholic Cape Henry, I'm sorry.
There you go. Norfolk State men and women, I think, are both back in action on Saturday. They are both fighting for a MEAC regular season championship. Women are in second place behind Morgan State. Men are also, I think, in second or third.
Yeah, Spartan's on the road. Spartan's on the road.
Oh, they're on the road this weekend. Okay, that's my mistake. So, yeah, a lot of local sports going on. You got ODU guys in the Super Bowl. You got local guys in the Super Bowl. Anything else we're forgetting that we wanted to talk about today? I think we wanted to get in here.
Fox 43 is going to be your home for a lot of sports coming up. We got college basketball on Saturdays. We've got the Super Bowl coming up. The Daytona 500
I was about to say, you're an old NASCAR guy. You know the Daytona 500 is coming up. We saw the exhibition at the Coliseum last weekend.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it. Yeah.
And then now,
Martin Truex Jr.
This is when it counts, right? Daytona 500
That's
kicks
right.
it off.
That's right. The Great American Race.
You got any favorites? You know who? Any? You up to date on any of the recent guys?
It's like there's so many young guns coming in now. These
Gibbs
guys,
a legitimate threat?
You got to learn. Well,
what's his deal?
He's a threat to tick somebody off.
Okay.
Some people are going to get in line to try to punch him. It seems like every week he's doing something to get
He's
under
on Twitter. They're
people's
always
skin.
going viral for something in the NASCAR
It's
world.
Kevin Harvick's last year. I'm going to go with the old guy Kevin Harvick to win the Daytona 500 in its final season. So how about that?
He just won a couple months.
He's won.
What did he win? I don't know what he won.
He won Richmond.
He won. There it was. Okay, he was run Richmond. That's what I was thinking because we sent Nathan to that race.
Nathan was late to the interview.
Kevin Harvick. That was funny.
Was
get to your NASCAR interviews on time because these guys don't like to be asked the same question more than once, and we have the footage to prove it.
Yeah. Kevin Harvick said, "Would you just please ask the question? I don't need your excuses."
He's trying to get out of that track and go celebrate for the night after the win.
Take his private plane back to Charlotte.
That's right. Well, this has been the Super Bowl Super Chat with the WAVY 10, 2/3 of the WAVY 10 sports team. I'm Craig Loper. He is Brian Parsons. Be sure to watch the game Sunday, 6:30, Fox 43. Afterwards, Fox has got all the primetime programming. I'll be on after that, recapping the game and with all the post-game sound. And
the score, you got to give a score.
Oh man!
Or do you want to wait? You want to wait till Friday night?
Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna do it on air, right?
At 11 o'clock Friday night.
WAVY tradition. We put up the full screen, and I still need a whole other day. Tonight, I will dive into I'm gonna do my Aaron Rodgers darkness retreat today. Boy. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it in the office. I'm gonna turn off all the lights, go into my darkness retreat, and find the answer. That was a crazy story. Not a crazy story.
Ayahuasca. I don't know what's going on with that stuff.
I appreciate meditation and stuff, but I think
meditation, absolutely
great. Aaron Rodgers is do what you got to do to find the answer.
Somebody on Twitter said, "What if it's really just him for 4 days, just wanting to play video games and not be distracted?" You know?
Or Aaron Rodgers doesn't strike me as a video game type, but that would be funny. I wonder where he's going. Like Peru this time, like South Africa or like Iceland.
You got Aaron Rodgers money. You can go anywhere.
You can go to any corner of the globe. We got to get to work,
yep.
But thank you for your time. Hopefully check this out. If you're not watching it live, watch it on the WAVY Sports Facebook and WAVY Facebook. So for Brian Parsons, I'm Craig Loper. We'll see you guys throughout the week on the Sports Wrap. Have a good one.